This time he'd miss. He'd go for the RKO, but Cena would counter into a sit outside slam. Then he'd just go right into the STFU. Then Orton would get to the outside. Then he'd tell the ref that his knee hurts. Referee Mike Yoda, the official, would ask Orton if he wanted to continue. Then Orton would tell him, or I should say yell at him to count him out. Yeah, so he got back in the ring earlier when he could have just taken the count out there, and then now he's just telling the referee to count him out. So I don't really understand the point of that. I don't know why. If that's the case, I just don't know why he didn't take the count out in the first place.
Right.
Then Cena would tell the ref, no, it's not going to go like that. Then Orton suckers him in and then hits him with an RKO on the floor. Then Cena would make his way back into the ring before the count of 10, I guess. Not knowing where to go next, Orton would hit the ref and would get himself intentionally disqualified. Cena not being a fan of this, knowing his WrestleMania opportunity is now gone, or so they wanted you to think. He then hit Orton with the FU and then tries to choke him out with the STFU. I don't know. I don't know what it was. These guys just never really clicked. I think they viewed it as, they had Austin and Rock of the two big stars of the Attitude Era, so they thought maybe Orton and Cena would be kind of that new top feud for the Ruthless Aggression Era or this time period, and it just didn't work. These guys just didn't have the chemistry, not in the way especially WWE wanted you to think that they did.
Probably after the Ruthless Aggression rivalry, I would probably say Cena and Edge.
That was definitely Cena's best rivalry. They'll always make it out to be it was Orton and Cena, but no, I mean, Edge and Cena had great chemistry. One of my favorite feuds to this day.
So, now, it's either between them or between HBK and Triple H.
Yeah, that was another one. I think the only problem for some people in that one is they thought that they did it way too much. Didn't bother me quite as much, but I've heard some people say that. But the problem is with Triple H and Shawn Michaels is they never talk about that. They don't. At this point, I don't think they ever want you to think that they ever feuded. I think they want you to think they're always friends.
Yeah.
So, Cena would win by disqualification, but Orton would still be champion. 15 minutes, 51 seconds. 2 stars and a quarter for me. Didn't really like this one.
What was my rating again?
Oh, you gave it a way higher rating than I did.
Oh, yeah, that's because for me, I thought at one point, there was a back and forth that got me into it a little bit.
Uh-huh.
The crowd definitely knew. The crowd was definitely into it.
Uh-huh.
So that helped too. Especially the start of the sucks chance.
Yeah. See, the thing with me is it wasn't the wrestling that did it for me. The wrestling wasn't bad.
I think it was the logic.
It's just you said it right there. It was the logic and just the psychology behind the match. It was just way off for me. To me, it just this could have been a good match. It's just by design, it was just not done right. As I said, to me, it was just from the beginning. Because to me, it's this is Cena's first chance at him. It's his WrestleMania opportunity. He should just come out with some fire, and he should have just it should have been a fight.
Right. Instead, that fire came out afterwards.
Yeah. So then next we'd have Triple H and Shawn Michaels backstage in the locker room area. Shawn would basically approach Triple H and would say, despite them being the best of friends and being a part of DX and whatnot, when it comes down to it, it's every man for himself. That's basically me just freestyling it. That wasn't really the exact words, but that's basically the gist of the conversation. That's basically what was said. If you want the exact words, go ahead and watch the show, I guess. I don't know. Before the match, before we get to the main event, the result from the poll earlier in the night, which they told you to go to WWE.com and vote on, would be displayed. So they asked who would win the Raw Elimination Chamber match. Then, of course, they had all the participants in the poll. You got to vote who you thought would win most, and it was Jeff Hardy who would be the leading vote getter, and he'd have 38% of the poll. Next highest would be Triple H at 31%. Next would be HBK at 21%.
Jericho, I think, was in the teens.
Jericho was actually 7%.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, and then Umaga was 2%, and JPL was 1% of the poll. Well, you knew those two would be like the least favorites, you know. Those are like the two heels.
Yeah, but still, those names just sound better than what SmackDown had.
Yeah, because like as I said, we had Undertaker and Batista, you know, MVP. Even Finlay may have not been a bad piece. But it's just like Big Daddy V was just weird only just because also he was an ECW guy technically.
Yeah. So obviously just the time where SmackDown and ECW were just.
And then he had Cowley. So to me, it's like if they would have had just one of them in there, that would have been fine. Like I get having the one real like big guy. I guess in their case, because I mean I guess you could consider Taker kind of a big man too in a way. But so I don't know.
Yeah, but Undertaker moves the best out of all of them.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And then so that'd be the pull there. But then before the match, even before the entrances, Lillian Garcia was announcing the rules of the chamber match. But I couldn't help but point out that she said during the last part, and I quote, "The winner will be the last man standing and will be declared the winner."
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on. The main event. The main event of the evening. The WWE Championship number one contenders elimination chamber match. JBL, Triple H, Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels, Jeff Hardy, and Umaga. So Triple H, Umaga, JBL, and Jeff Hardy would each be placed in the pods. Quick, also fun fact, I was saying MVP was United States champion at the time, but Jeff Hardy was enjoying his fourth reign as Intercontinental champion as well.
Yes, he was.
Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels would be the first two to start out in this match, which that's actually interesting to me because I didn't actually remember it being that way. So that was so seeing this was definitely interesting, and I actually would have probably had Jeff Hardy be one of the guys to start out in this, to be honest.
Yeah, but we were throwing it to be honest.
And of course, Jericho and Michaels had their history in the past, as they would definitely in this year as well. We'll definitely talk about that later on as we do more shows down the road. There'll be plenty of OA shows, so yeah, this will be something you'll hear quite a bit probably throughout the year. So early on, a couple little things to point out. There was the Walls of Jericho attempt by Jericho. Yeah, of course. Well, if anyone else did it, it'd be like a Boston Crab. So of course, there's Jericho doing it. So yeah, whatever. I don't know where I'm going with that. That was countered by Shawn. Shawn would go for the sharpshooter, and he turned into a small package. And then, Jericho would counter that into a small package, and that would get a 2 count. Then it was time for the first entrant to join Michaels and Jericho in this. The buzzer would go off, and then out came Umaga. He'd hit the ring and then start dominating as expected. Jerry Lawler would say that this is similar to what Big Viscera did earlier, except he's now known at this point as Big Daddy V. Then there was the double Samoan drop from Umaga to both Jericho and Michaels. I thought that was great. Yeah, I really like that. Then he continued to dominate for the next couple of minutes. But things would change after a missed splash attempt, which would lead to Walls of Jericho and a crossface combination from Jericho and Michaels. JBL would be the next to enter the chamber after that. He'd immediately go after Jericho. Of course, these two had a feud going on at this point in time for really the last couple months, dating back to Armageddon of 2007. Then they'd have a match with one another at the Royal Rumble the month prior. And then, also while this is going on, it was discovered that somewhere or another, Shawn Michaels was busted open big time.
Oh, yeah. The proverbial crimson mask.
Yes. They would show the replay, which they believed to have been where it potentially caused the cut, but I don't know.
I don't think it was that clear. It didn't look like.
That didn't, yeah, because that didn't seem like it caused that much damage to me. And I don't even think he hit him I didn't think he hit him right up top where it would have caused that cut.
I think they collided like lower body more than head.
Yeah, I think his arm or something may have hit him in the face, but it wasn't up where it would have caused like that. Like, it wasn't like his forehead or anything.
Right.
So how he got cut open, or how he got busted open, busted open.
It was one of those moments like you turn around and holy crap, he's just covered in blood.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it happened.
So how Shawn Michaels got busted open for us will remain a mystery, probably. Then later Triple H would enter at 5. He'd immediately go after Umaga first. They had a little rivalry at one point in time too, that I recall.
Yeah, late in 07.
Then he'd hit JBL with his patented knee. He'd hit Jericho and Umaga with spine busters. There's a DDT to JBL. Umaga would Irish whip Triple H into the corner. He'd charge at him. He'd miss, and then Triple H would send Umaga into the pod. Then Jericho from behind would hit his trademark Bulldog, followed by a Lionsault attempt, which he would miss. Yeah, that was one of his finishers. He'd actually he beat people with back in the day, and then later on, that Lionsault, he seems like he just misses it all the time.
Remember during that Triple H Umaga, if you remember, it was Team Triple H versus Team Umaga. Remember, Umaga had his own Survivor Series team.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's right. That's very true. Then Triple H would go for the pedigree, and out of nowhere, JBL would hit him with the clothesline from hell. Then Jericho would hit JBL with a code breaker and would eliminate him, just like that. JBL would be the first participant gone from the match. I guess that's not too surprising, going by the people who were in this, and because this had some stars in this.
Oh yeah, well they're all stars in their own right. Even Umaga.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Umaga. I thought Umaga. Looking back at it, I think he was. Yeah, he's a good big man, and he was very agile.
Yeah, and I think they did. I think the order. Obviously, we're not going to put the order definitely was right in my opinion, because we all know JBL still way fresh, so. Obviously, he wasn't going to do anything anyway. I mean, maybe he had one in their company, but that was it. So that was they probably did the right thing by having him go out first.
Yeah, I would agree. Then after being eliminated, JBL would just go ballistic, and he'd nail all 4 participants involved in the match at the time with a chair shot to the head.
Yeah, they still did those in 08.
Yeah. Well, they hadn't gone PG yet.
Nope. Few more months.
Then finally at number 6, Jeff Hardy would enter the chamber. Wow, Jeff Hardy would actually be the last one to get in here.
Yeah.
I would have thought it would have been Triple H or Shawn Michaels.
I know. Instead of Triple H in the second last, I'll start it off.
Yeah, then he'd come in, he'd use Chris Jericho as a battering ram to set up poetry in motion. Then he'd hit Triple H and Shawn Michaels with the Whisper and the Win. Then all the momentum would be stopped with a thrust kick from Umaga. And following that, Umaga would get back control for a bit. There was a spot where he'd Irish whip Shawn into Triple H, who was tied up in the Tree of Woe. Then Shawn would do his famous flip over the top rope.
Yeah, that did not look right.
Yeah, then Umaga would do his running ass attack. I don't know what else to call it.
No, he did a headbutt.
Oh no, he did that, but he was gonna, but he did that running move that he always did in the Jericho, sending him through the pod.
Yeah, that looked like a Jericho no sell, to be honest.
I know. I mean, he could have. I know that it looked well. Yeah, it's like that.